r/AskReddit. What is an innocent sounding Google search that returns not so innocent results? Halloween is coming. Needed an accessory for little girl's good witch costume. Did an image search for a magic wand. Seems most of them have to be plugged in. Not exactly a search, but the 360 view for Batman. Turkey on Google Maps is interesting. What in the duck? How did a dude's boner selfie get onto Google Maps? Back in high school I googled motivational poster. This was in the school library, so safe search was preset to strict and everything. Third image was straight up porn. I think Google's gotten smarter about it now, but 10 years ago that kind of shit would slip through all the time. It was probably motivational, though, just not for school activities. If you're in the mindset of trying to format mathematical expressions in an image using open source software, LaTeX GIMP, and stdlist when you're trying to find documentation on the C++ standard library list data structure. Black holes. In 9th grade we learned about space in science class and we each had to do a presentation on certain space related topics. Our teacher specifically told the student that was researching black holes to be careful what he clicked on when he went online. BBC. The British Broadcasting Corporation are my favorite source. A brand of nail polish I like is called Girly Bits. Always have to be super careful of going on their site at work. Google's pretty mellow these days, but for real you can't put anything into Bing with Safasakoff. One time I needed a new baseball bat so I wanted to see if Dong's Sporting Goods had something. I was 8. I went to dongs.com. Nowadays dongs.com goes to Dong Sporting Goods. Your thinking was alright. You were just few years too early. Edit. Considering the topic. Dongs.com is way too innocent. I don't get to see anything at all. Just blocked in European Union because of GDRP. One time in my science class a long time ago, we were studying minerals and the teacher said to Google cleavage. It did not return mineral cleavage. I specialize in animal behavioral ecology and I focus on large carnivores. When I began specializing in this subject, so this began with doing my master's research years ago, I would look up images of the species I was studying for PowerPoint presentations. I would often put the word art in when it came to extinct species. With that being said, I was absolutely unaware on how prevalent furry art is. My dad is a classic car guy. When my parents first got their computer and got online, he searched for hot rods. He did not get cars. String. Google. Cough. Results are fine. But look at all the images of Mr. Invisible getting BJs. This is the highlight of my day. Duck you, I can't unsee this. The amount of children on there is terrifying. I didn't get it till I searched it. This is amazing. Oh man. Once I went looking for these awesome toys I had as a kid on Google. Big mistake. When we were good in class, we could earn a reward of a toy from this little bag of cheap plastic toys my teacher had. Well, at some point she found these really cool little plastic woodpeckers that could slip over the end of your pencil and as you wrote, they would bounce on a tiny spring, as if they were pecking the wood of the pencil. Really neat. So I remembered one day and I went to Google to see if I could find them and searched under their name. Pencil peckers. Big mistake. Pikachu Thanksgiving. There's one specific picture that shows up that I hate. So I was using PowerPoint for a school project. Needed a cartoon version of my mom and I googled white mom and black daughter and the results were clutch as pearls shocking. Don't forget the R in Gary Oldman. Or the L in grandfather C. Locks. Sandy Cheeks. You know, the character from SpongeBob. Trying to Google Evan Fournier, an NBA player, especially if you only use his last name accidentally. I have a friend who's the most innocent, sheltered person you'll ever meet. He has a form of high-functioning autism. His wife wanted to see XXX in the theater, so he googled it. When my son was potty training he did not want to wear underpants. So I started to Google little boys in underwear to show him other kids and as I started typing decided it was probably not a good search. To the flip side of this question. Trying to be funny I googled African bush viper thinking some weird porn would pop up. To my surprise, One of the most beautiful species of reptiles I have ever seen popped up. Women. What do you find most confusing about men? Their refusal to see a doctor, even if they have the means. Your leg has fallen off. 'Tis but a scratch. LMAO, it's just a flesh wound. Why men rarely ask for further detail. Husband and friend make plans to have a games night. Starting 5 PM at friend's place. That's all the info covered. Should we bring any games? It is at dinner time. Are we eating there? Are we meant to bring food? How many people are we feeding? Who is going to be there? Nothing. He knows nothing. I haven't noticed this with girls, but I have noticed that my husband will just like stare out into space with severe concentration, and I'll be like, what's wrong babe? And he will say something like, if all of our pets attacked me at once, do you think I could fight them off? I've seen other guys do this too. It's just so fascinating. We have a medium pit mix, a small chihuahua mix, 2 ferrets and a hamster. So the answer was probably yes. Unless he was asleep, then maybe the medium dog could best him. Hey, I don't want to nag, but can you take out of the trash? Him. Yep, me. Sees trash the next day. Because we intend to take out the trash eventually, but often procrastinate until we forget about the trash. In Dutch, guys call each other pig, which in English means dong, but they say it in a friendly way, because they're mates. Why call each other dong? My wife says she never understood how my friend walks into the apartment and goes straight to the kitchen and grabs stuff to eat drink like it's his own home. On top of it, I don't give a f. She says she could never do with her girlfriends. How little they know about their friends. My husband was friends with a guy for years and didn't know how old he was. Don't even know how old I am. Man talking golf to friends. I was on the 3rd hole. My second shot. My ball was in the second cut, about 6 feet from that big oak tree and about 3 feet from that big root that looks like a skinny chick's ass. I used my 3 wood and hit the perfect shot, landing just 2 feet from the pin. Wife. Can you pick up 3rd child from school today? Man. What school does he go to? Edit. My first silver. Thank you. Confession. This is a made up scenario to illustrate that I find it confusing that men can remember so much vivid detail about golf and not other things. I actually find it quite charming about my husband how he remembers golf. The response used a 3rd child because it would be much easier to lose track of where your 3rd child goes to school. The 1st child, everything is new. But by the time a 3rd child comes around and you have kids possibly at 3 different schools, it would be easier to mix it up. I used this example as an exaggeration of something my ex-husband once said. The actual situation comment was me. Will you go to a meeting at 2nd child's school at 7 o'clock? Ex-husband. Okay. Where is the entrance to the school? We have a 3rd child? What is up with having friends that give you shit and attitude and it's all good? It's like you all like to torment each other and laugh about it. Not all men, just the ones I know. Edit. Awesome responses. It puts it into perspective, lol. How they absolutely refused to ask for help. Back when we had no smartphones, we were trying to find my friend's street, and this guy I was with preferred to walk aimlessly for 30 minutes before I had enough and dared to ask someone for directions. Scrolls through channels on TV, sees movie, does not know when it started, has zero context about the plot, watches the rest of the movie anyway, and doesn't ask you what's going on because you've seen just as much as he has. Those handshakes you do, how do you coordinate it? It baffles me. A lifetime of practice. Why are guys so apprehensive about receiving gifts? Buddy, I found a cool pair of socks that looks like a shark is eating your foot, and I paid next to nothing for it. Why do you have to act like you now have to pay for my college tuition? Can I not just gift guys things for fun? When you guys wear skinny jeans, where TF does your dong go? Like, not sexually but as a concerned person. Does that get tucked or something? Wouldn't that hurt when you take off your jeans at the end of the day? Edit. I now know why people say RIP to their inbox. Damn. Also, I do know guys who wear skinny jeans. They're a lot better in retail warehousing where I used to work than those annoying dress pants. Can't speak for all men, but mine is quite shorter when flaccid. Grow or not a shower. Also, men's jeans have more crotch room for just this reason, and it'll usually go toward one side of the pants. so it's usually slightly into one pant leg. He uses my expensive shampoo to wash his whole body when there is a bar of soap right there. Because if it's soapy and smells nice, it's good as soap. A guy asked my friend for her number. He never called. Something similar happened to me. Why even bother getting someone's phone number? Edit. In my case, we texted and agreed to meet up on a certain day and grab drinks. Fast forward. On said day, a Friday, he all of a sudden texts me, saying that he has to work now because his colleague called in sick. He works in a bar. He tells me he's going to message me on Monday so we could set something up again, but he never did. I'm assuming he got nervous or met someone else. He's sobered up. What's the deal with guys not wanting to use lotion or chapstick? Every guy I've dated thus far has denied my offer for lotion or chapstick when they complain about having chapped lips and dry skin. Edit. Oh god, this comment really blew up. I absolutely hate the greasy feeling of that stuff. Advice for girls. If you find something confusing, ask them. Whether he's a coworker, friend, or more importantly, boyfriend. Guys don't mind explaining why they did things. We have a reason. It may be a dumb reason, but it's dictated by a train of thought. We also prefer girls to be direct rather than cloak and dagger. The more we know about each other, the easier things are. Likewise, if a guy asks you why you did something, we're always interested in brushing up on any sort of girl logic at any given opportunity. Shaves. Did you clean the sink? Yep. Looks in sink. What the fuck? Edit. Definitely not just guys, but it was a male specific question. Not a woman, but I can't understand why so many men don't wear sunscreen. Stop trying to throw hands with the sun. You're not going to win. Even when though men can take a leak without sitting on the toilet, how can they aim with a flaccid penis? Or is it flaccid? Literally a lifetime of practice. Also, if it's not flaccid, there are 3 things that can happen. Everything proceeds as normal. No mess. The stream shoots out at nearly a 45-degree angle and you make a small mess until you adjust. You get the old fork in the road and coat the walls and floor. Whether or not they're into a woman, swear to god one day they can display evidence of attraction, then the next it's like a switch went off and they want nothing to do with you. I've realized over the years sometimes it's just a bad day for them and not about me at all. However, I still can't read them, lol. Edit. Holy shit, I did not expect this to blow up. Why some of the guys I know turn in completely different people when around their friends. I've seen women do it as well, but never that big of a 180 as the men I know. Bro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking mad lad. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.